Well, hello there. Fancy meeting you here. Excuse me. Already have a frog in my throat. This is Lori B from Grungy Girl Journals. And as promised, I'm going to be doing a flip through of my new journal. And my mind just went blank because I did name her and I've already forgotten what it was. So I actually took a picture because I wanted to show you something about the name of this book, and I can't find my phone. Oh, there it is. Okay. So while I wanted something French, something Frenchy, because it is, French themed. And sorry about the shaking. I'm in a precarious situation here with the setup. There's my cord right there. Probably going to be hitting it. I really need to figure this all out. Okay, so I came up with a name, and it's so funny how it's pronounced in French. I would have never pronounced it this way if I hadn't known. So let me just bring that up. English to French. And what I have named her is, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Okay, how you spell it? Oh, Flirty Girls. And that is the name that I picked. So I was like, well, how do you say that? So this website just happens to have a little speaker thing where you can push it and she will tell you how to say it. So here we go.
Flirty Girls.
Oh, not that one. Okay, that's how you say Flirty Girls. And then this is in French.
Fille Coquette.
Okay, what? Say what?
Fille Coquette.
Fille Coquette. Did I say it right?
Fille Coquette.
Fille Coquette.
Fille Coquette.
Coquette. I think I got it right that time. So that is the name of this cute little book. And I really love her, and she really is quite flirty. And before I open, I want to tell you a little bit about the outside. She's been a work in progress for 2 months, maybe even longer. I lose track. It is fabric underneath here. So here's the back. There's fabric, and this is a napkin, which I dyed. And then there's a piece of old lace. And then these are, I'll tell you what those are in a minute. And I hand dyed the seam binding and tied each one of these little boogers one at a time. And at first I was going to tack them all down by sewing, because I'm not really big on gluing. You get that little hard place, and I thought, well, I'm just going to tack them down. Well, no, I think I got 2 tacked down, and I kept getting my thread tangled in the other ribbons, and the bows kept coming undone. And I was like, well, forget that. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. So I got my new little bottle that I got from Your Crafting Source, and I put some Fabri-Tac in there, and I put tiny little dots before I tied the bow. And I don't usually have fingernails, but I wanted to get them all grown out, all just for once, all like nice and long. And I did not want to cut my nails to tie these bows. And I would suggest that you do not have long fingernails if you're going to be tying a lot of bows. because it's frustrating. But in my job, which I retired from last year, if anybody didn't know about that, I could not have nails. You couldn't have it. You couldn't have nail extensions. You couldn't have anything over, just barely like like that, because I worked in a sterile environment in an IV room in the pharmacy, and it was against dress policy because you could get bacteria and things up underneath your fingernails if they were too long. Even though we wore gloves and we washed, constantly and all that good stuff, they consider it a harbor for germs. So for a very long time, I could not have fingernails. So I'm finally getting, my pinkies are having a little problem, and this one broke off not too long ago. So I've almost got them there. And as soon as I get them, like these three, I'm cutting them off. So anyway, I don't know why I told you all that. But tying these ribbons was quite the experience. And I posted a picture on Facebook of I had looped all these are 12 inches of seam binding, each one of these bows. And there's one on the front, and there's also one on the back. So double, actually. And I had ironed them all, and I'd looped them through, and then I took a picture and I put it on Facebook. And that was, like I said, an experience. But I loved it. I loved it. And it just took me days and days, but I still loved it. And I actually got kind of the idea from this picture. And although these aren't like Can Girls or anything, I'm not sure what they are. Circus, I don't know. But if you look at this lady's, I don't know what you call that, bloomers, or I don't know, kind of funky looking corset. But if you'll see around her legs, I was looking closely at that, and then right around here, it looks like little, to me, at first when I looked at it, it looked like little ribbons. And can you see that? And I wanted to kind of mimic that, because I didn't want to do, I used to have the actual napkin fringe on here, and it just got too, it got too grody looking. I didn't like it. It wasn't French looking. So I found this picture and I saw that and I was like, well, let me try to replicate something, that kind of looks like that. It's very flirty and French looking. It might not be. I don't know, but that's my idea of French flirty. So this is a drawing that I got. This is I love this picture. It's a drawing from Elgon. Oh, can't remember his last name. Elgon begins with an S. Can't remember, but I will put it in the description box below. And he's from a very, very long time ago. Some of his art is a little risque and kind of, out there, but I love this one. She's tying her boot. She looks to me like she's got her chemise on. And what I did here was I pulled, you know how these boots have these little buttons, and then you either, I don't know, lace them or whatever. Well, this is my interpretation of the way she would lace up the boots. And these are just brads. There's a piece of, there's a digital behind it, which I believe I got from Graphics Fairy. And then there's a piece of cardboard, which I had painted and distressed and tore up. And I think I put some patty stains on it. And I also sealed this whole thing with some Tim Holtz, what's it called? The wax, the distress wax. All my words have lost me. but it's in a little tiny jar, and it just kind of seals it up, and it gives it a really pretty finish too. And it says Le Journal down there, which is French for, guess what? The journal. So this ribbon right here, I actually got at Hobby Lobby. And what it is, it's in the trim, like in the curtain area. And it's a trim that is used, it's actually double layered, and I cut off the back layer. It's used for the insides of drapery or blinds or something like that. I'm not quite sure how they are used, but I just really liked it as a ribbon. And it's fairly cheap, so I use that as the closure. And everything, some of it is glued, but for the most part, this book is sewed together. I hand sewed all of the lace on. It's just sewn. There's tiny, a zillion tiny stitches in this. These have been sewn to keep from fraying. I also put a little spot of glue on most of the bows on the ends so they would not fray badly. I made the tassels. I found this cute little ribbon on Etsy, and I will try to find that shop and put that below as well. And I did, this is just the leftover ribbon from off the back of this. So I made a little tassel with that. And then of course you got the seam binding. And that's just attached with a rusty safety pin, so you can take that off. Okay, I think I've pretty much explained everything. I did the loose string, and again I kind of referenced that to tying of the shoe. This is a paper flower that I dyed. And I'm going to show you how I did the bows. I've got a little sample piece of fabric and some seam binding. I'm going to show you how I did that after I finish the flip through. So I think I've shown you pretty much everything on the outside. And see, like I need to put some glue on this one. It looks like I missed it, and that will keep that from fraying. All right, so let's open this girl. This piece right here is a fabric sample, and I dyed that with the Tim Holtz weathered wood, which I had over here from yesterday, but I think I put it up. And you just get that really beautiful blue gray. And this is a pocket here, so you can see the napkin. And I had to adjust it. It was too long. It was too much this way. So I just folded it over and I sewed it to be a little shorter. So that's a pocket. This page gave me a little bit of trouble. I ended up just over the 2 months, I ripped it. So I wanted to do something, you know, not your average glue remedy. I sewed it. I sewed it with wax thread, and then I glued it down really good. It was probably about 1.5 inches long. And I didn't want to just rip it off. I didn't think it would look right. And there is some vintage lace, and that's actually the netting. It's like probably about this wide, and it wraps around the one signature. There's 5 signatures in this book. So this one wraps around the first one. And I dyed, tea dyed, I think this is tracing paper. And I also used not beeswax, yeah, beeswax on it, and you know, with a hot iron, so it's got like a really cool texture to it. And there's the back. And all of these, I hand dyed all of these I used tea. I also used butterfly PT. That's really a thing. It's a really pretty purpley blue color, and then when you add tea to it, it turns a more blue-green. And this is a digital that I got somewhere. I'll try to figure out where I got it. There's lots of French ephemera in here, and I believe I got most of it from the Graphics Fairy. And I will put that all in the description box below. I will also go through the book again before it uploads and put anybody else from, I usually get them from Etsy, so if any of the digitals are from elsewhere other than the Graphics Fairy, I will be sure to mention that. This is a menu, and it's really fun to age these too. I used rusty paper clips throughout, and each of there's the first signature is more artwork and ephemera, and then the second is actually notebook paper, or you know, lined paper. So you have 3 signatures that are filled with ephemera and such, and some collaging, and then the ones in between, 2 of them are the lined paper. So there's 5 signatures total. I did 2 I called them lady collages. I did 2 of them in each of the 3 main signatures, and I just had a blast doing them. And I think I mentioned on Facebook that the way I tried to do these was I looked at the picture of these beautiful, who I imagine are French ladies, and I tried to pull out what I was going to use in the collage by looking at the picture. And this one happens to be, I looked this up, this song in French. I looked it up, and it had something to do with, I think, a cat in a window. It was one of the sentences in the song. And so I put a little cat bead right there. It's really sweet. Gold cat. And this is just an applique and old lace, and I put this on because she's got a lot of little, looks like she's got a lot of little ribbons hanging from her waist. So I love that. And each one is going to have a piece of sheet music behind it. It's an applique on tracing paper. Some more French ephemera. I made a pretty simple tag. Just tea stained it. It's very simple. This is a piece of upholstery fabric. Looks like a receipt. I did a little bit of embossing with the embossing folders. This is really beautiful vintage onion skin, blue onion skin paper, stationery. Pocket glassine bag. And this is also a pocket. And this is the Mont Saint Michael Citadel by the sea, in the sea. That's pretty. A little shaky. Here is a postcard. I love these postcards. And where I got these was, show you back. This is an original postcard. And I found this at the flea market a couple of months ago. And it's one of these books. And it's filled with postcards. And then there's a piece, beautiful, beautiful paper in between. And the colors are just gorgeous. It's kind of like watercolor. But these are all French. So I was really excited to find this. I even like the cover. There's a belly band, just some more ephemera. I'll let you look at that. And this is a millinery shop, a hat shop in I guess Paris. This is actually, I think, a teaching school. Another, this is a wine menu. And then here's the Dala. Really, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's money. Or it's fake money, I should say. But it's got cute little cupids on it. So here's the second one. I was trying to see what I pulled. This fabric down here, very loose weave, kind of just reminded me of the skirt part of her, what she's wearing. These mimic the buttons on her boots. The lace with the music notes on it, just, you know, because it's behind some music. And this is a little lady's hanky, piece of a lady's hanky. Really pretty, delicate looking, kind of reminded me of that. And then the flower, I don't know what, I guess these are flowers. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of blurry, but I thought that kind of pulled that out. And that is a little pocket right there. So there's the first signature, and then there's the other side of that tracing paper. And what I did was put some vintage blue lace in between. I really didn't want to make it a pocket, so it kind of shows through. And then I put beeswax with my iron on there. And then there's the rest of that piece of lace. This piece. So it wraps all the way around that one signature. And then there are two of these signatures in the book, and this is the back of a postcard that I blew up. And I dyed these as well. Can't remember how. I think it was already bluish in color. It was like a lighter blue, and I used tea and some weathered wood, Tim Holtz, and I'm already at 24 minutes. Oh my goodness, I gotta rev it up here. Some of that blue tea I was telling you about. So, and then I used some Tim Holtz washi tape. I don't use washi tape much, but this is really pretty. And then the middle of these two lined paper signature, I put butterflies. So there's just a few pages that you can do your writing on, and of course you can write anywhere in this book. Lots of ephemera. This one, I'm not going to take everything out. I want you to look at it. I love this ribbon, organza ribbon. Have cute little picos or whatever you call it on the edges. There's a receipt. And here's another lady collage. She's got a little, somebody slipped her an address right there. Call me sometime. This is like a very, very pale, dusty pink. Just the palest. Very pale. Almost a nude. She is just beautiful. And there's tulle because her dress kind of looks tully. And then the flowers for these flowers. And then I also tried to do a bow and a flower on every lady collage. That was like a challenge for myself because I usually just use one or the other. It's a belly band. This is vellum. This is from a address book. And I love the paper. Another glassine bag, some ephemera. And I really tried to stick with the blue, the French blue theme with a little bit of dusty pink. And this is the middle, and it's a pocket. And those are just different sizes of doilies. Oh, there's a postcard in there. And there's the back. I think I left these so they would flutter, and then the back I glued down. This is just a passport. I believe it's like a passport application. And you can write on the back of that. Okay, going faster, going faster. Tuck up. This is the one that I showed on Facebook, and this is my favorite one. And like I said, I just tried to pull whatever kind of came to mind when I looked at the picture. I imagined that she had pin curled her hair the night before, so those are bobby pins. I dyed the little buttons because there's probably some buttons on there somewhere. And then the pleats right here mimic what she has on. There's just a envelope that I made into a pocket. Isn't this a pretty color? So pretty. And I just had such a good time making these look old. And I put, that's a French stamp right there that came from France. Ooh la la. And then here's another, the next signature is just the lined paper with the butterflies. Cute little cupids. And then here's a little more embossing. There's another folded envelope with a stamp. There's another lady collage. Looks like she got a little note tucked on the side of hers. So again, and really the stamp had nothing to do with the picture. I just really wanted to attach it with a bow. It reminded me of the print right there on her shawl. It's a piece of ribbon. This looked like a little button that would have come off her shoe. Some eyelash lace. Some more embossing on that onion skin paper. This is the middle, it's a pocket. This is definitely a brassiere store. Don't ask me. But everybody looks pretty happy, except her. She's like, why? I need to work. Why are you making me sit here? She's like, Mommy, don't be mad. Here's the little dog. He's just happy as can be. Brassiere shop. These are some more rusty clips. There's 8 or 10 in here. I love these owl clips. So these are all rusted up, ready to go for you to use. Here is a map of Marsal's. And at 32 minutes. Here's another Lady Clash. So you've got the bow and the flower, and this is from her skirt. And ... because just I cut this out of lace, and it's just ... because I don't know, it's like she's about to sing something or say something fabulous, so ... Another menu. And I have decided that this is going to be like my mascot. I don't want to clip it off there. It's too hard to get off and on because it's a paper clip on fabric, and there's a button right there, but it will come off. So this is kind of how I see myself. Grungy Girl Journals. I think that she is just adorable. And something funny about this is when I saw this picture, I hope you can see it good. When I saw this picture, it reminded me of a picture that I took of myself. A friend of mine, we were texting on the phone, and I said, oh, you should see me. I look ridiculous right now. And she's like, well, I want to see what you look like. So I went over to like the full length mirror and I took a picture of myself. And I had on like a big, huge flannel shirt down below my knees. And I had on gray sweats tucked into Ugg boots. And my hair was all messed up. And this is just kind of me. I'm not this person right here at all. I'm this person. So I decided I was going to use that as sort of my tag in my books. And I signed it. And then here is another pocket. And that is the end. I'm really happy I finished this one. She's a special one. I hope you like her. Please tell your friends to subscribe, and please like this channel if you did, or like this video if you did. And I am on Facebook if you want to friend me. I love more friends. Say hi to Louie. And I look forward to going on to the next thing, which I probably knew what I was going to start next this morning, but now I can't remember. So I will be trying to remember that. I don't know if it's going to be another French one or not. This is number two. I did one, the last one, and now this is number two, and I might do another one. I'm not sure. I just really, really love them. And I guess I'm done for today. I will see you next time. Bye.